One of the biggest debates in the Dubai real estate market is what is better to purchase, off-plan primary sales or ready resale secondary market. To have that debate here with you, I thought nothing better than to have Prince, head of secondary and resale, and Daniel, head of primary developer sales. Gentlemen, market is busy. Both sectors have a different pros and cons. We're going to go through a few questions, understanding your take on it and how you see that it differs for your segment versus the other. So for the first one, I'll start off with you, Danny. Is it true, question one, is it true that off-plan is dominating the real estate market right now in Dubai?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's 60%
Straight in there, Prince, right?
Yeah, it is what it is. It's 60% of the market is dominated by off-plan. And some people would call it a trend, but I don't think that's a trend. I think what that is a strategy by a lot of investors, because they're looking at the options in the market. You're looking at off-plan, you're looking at a lower cost of entry, you're looking at a smart, flexible payment plan, massive capital appreciation over the next 24 to 36 months. And if you buy into the right property, the upside is second to none. So that's the reason why the market has responded in the way that it has for off-plan last, let's say, 4 years.
Well, that was quite clear cut. I don't know if we even need to carry on this question anymore.
Oh, I think we do.
Shoot.
Okay, yeah. Since you're right, from January to now, there has been a higher push in the off-plan segment. However, from a ready perspective, townhouses and villas have taken over. When you look at more end user perspective, people that want to be here in Dubai, again, you're talking long term. So from one angle, yeah, off-plan is a long-term investment. However, the people that want to be here long term are not very, I say, sold on buying off-plan. Okay, so again, I do see a lot of risk in off-plan if we are going to open up that can of worms with delays with some developers. Again, getting the finished article, it's not pretty much what I was sold. Whereas when you are looking at secondary, its location is already built, it's near enough established, so you know what you're getting. And then when you talk about a return, if you look at it perspective, if you look at it in the way as if you're looking to invest and you want to get something that you're going to lease, that you're going to rent out quickly, then from a return
Immediate
perspective,
return.
it's immediate.
You're right.
And if you're looking at the market, you've got Dubai Marina, you've got JVC, these are very common at the moment. They're actually generating probably like 6 to 8%. Okay, and then if you're looking at the other communities as we're on it, like villa communities, Jumeirah Islands has been going on for the last 2 to 3 years. Palm Jumeirah that's its standard, that's nothing new. Talat Al Ghaf has really picked up. You've got Jumeirah Park. Again, Dubai Hills is there, Springs Meadows is there, the list goes on. Arabian Ranches as well, from a end user perspective, has really picked up.
Sorry, can I jump in? I see it was quite funny. I thought you were going to reel off every community in Dubai then. But what's actually funny though is that you're talking about end users and you're mentioning villas. So I think that's the big difference. I think people relocating to Dubai now are looking for a home now. So they may end up actually purchasing in both segments. A ready property in an established community, either for renovation, for investment, and or something that's already done, so it's turnkey. Then in the same respect, they will go and look at the investment side of things from off-plan to take into consideration payment plan, timelines, any benefits from the developer, and they get a bit more time to understand what's going on in the market.
I mean, look, that's a valid point, right? With the rental yield 6 to 8%, they're immediate. The secondary market is more tangible. I understand all of that. But it's a valid point to the extent that you get the 6 to 8% returns now, but it's at the cost of being able to generate 20 to 30% returns on your equity or even higher in the same time period.
And capital appreciation.
Yeah, capital appreciation. It's a perfect example. Like, let's say, for example, you go into Blue Waters, right? Say Blue Waters,
Again,
for example.
it depends on the developer.
Yeah.
Again, I've seen there's a lot of different developers where I've seen they've created a product or done a project and people not seeing the returns that they were expecting. The appreciation isn't there.
Right.
So yeah, if you're going to talk about the same old leaders of Dubai, that's fine.
Yeah.
But again, the entry level to get into these developers that are the leaders is different. The payment plan isn't as flexible.
Right.
So when you look at the ones that you're talking about, it's not across the board. So it'd be better for you to just call out the developers where you're going to get the best appreciation, and there's probably 4 or 5.
I mean, absolutely. It's just not the developers, it's also the certain areas, right? Because Dubai operates in sort of this micro market. Certain areas are not going to appreciate as much as other areas will. Certain areas might be oversupplied and the other areas are undersupplied or undervalued still. And the point that I was trying to make about Blue Waters is a 1-bedroom rents there for 350,000.
Yeah.
Right? How much is that going for a 1-bed in the secondary market? Looking at 5 mil, roundabout?
Yeah, averaging 5 to 6 mil.
5 to 6 mil, and you're generating about 350,000. So that nets you or grosses you around 7 to 8%. But you look at something that's going on in Maritime City, for example, right? 1 bedroom for 2.6, 2.8 million, which will generate you the same 350,000 rental yields. You're looking at 10 to 12%. So when investors evaluate options, they don't have to just consider what's tangible, but they also have to look at the future pricing based on where the market is today. And so they see those returns. They see that that's a higher qualified investment.
Not all the time. Like I said, it is dependent on the developer. There's so many developers out there that are doing these payment plans of 1% or 2% or whatnot. Again, just to create a sense of an opportunity to get in. Really,
create hype, isn't it?
It is the hype, but realistically, and like I said, I've been here long enough to see some developers disappear.
Yeah.
So again, one thing you get when you are effectively going into off-plan, depending on the developer, of course, is high risk. It's a high risk. It is a high risk.
Okay.
If you're talking about in established communities, maybe where there's still a few plots left, okay, the risk again lower. But if you're talking about in areas where we hear plans, like prime example, I'm not going to say much about Creek, but initially when people did buy into Creek from an off-plan perspective, we were expecting the Creek Tower, the biggest tower, or the tallest tower in the world, to come in and take over. So people bought on the basis that they were going to get a new downtown. But if you look at the prices now and you look at what's available and the return, a lot of people are selling below OP. So again, it's not always, it's not always a guarantee. So this is something you should expect if you're going into off-plan, the volatility of the market shifting.
I think it depends. I think if we can just summarize, I think there's pros and cons to both, right? I think the upside for an off-plan investment is that you get the opportunity to enter into the market at a lower price rate, which should in turn, depending on the location of the property, give you a higher capital appreciation. With regards to the rental amounts that you were talking about in Maritime City, again, just to go flip on there to secondaries, that's all very much, we hope so, and based upon current market trends, this is where it's going to be. Whereas if you want to purchase something with a certain return on investment in a higher end community, when it's established and it's finished, it is a slightly safer purchase. However, risk and reward goes hand in hand. If you take that opportunity, if we were someone sitting here 3-4 years ago that purchased something off plan, depending on the developer and the location, they would be sitting very pretty right now. Likewise, though, if somebody was to purchase something in secondary, either for an end use perspective or investment, do a renovation. Let's look at what's happening at Springs, just as an example. Some of these very established communities, once fully renovated, the turnout and the return is excellent.
Yes.
Ultimately, both have a segment. It's about which one works for you.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Let's agree to disagree. Yeah. He didn't want to say it.